Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk about Cara Dune again.
Yeah. Like the gift that keeps on giving, but not in a good way.
Yeah, this is going to be the anti-gift for Disney and Lucasfilm. There's some more stuff coming out about the Cara Dune situation, that Hasbro, of course, has pulled the plug on her action figure.
Well, they put a statement out finally.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, this reeks of somebody at Lucasfilm calling them almost immediately and telling them to pull the plug.
Well, it's probably true, because back when they had the Mandalorian start, there was no toys for it, and the vibe I got was that Hasbro was tired of losing money, and I think they weren't going to make toys, so they went to Mattel, and actually Mattel was the one to release the design first, and I think Hasbro was like, oh shit, this is popular, and then they made a deal with Disney again, and they don't want to lose that biscuit, because now they are selling toys, but that's probably going to end.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this this kind of ridiculous article on the Hollywood Reporter.
You can pick on which article is ridiculous.
You know, and they blow out the airlock, and they got Baby Yoda waving bye-bye.
And then they have a bunch of stuff about, you know, the same narrative you've been hearing. I mean, it's basically the same, you know, another day, same narrative.
What's interesting about this article, though, is they flat out said that Disney PR, this PR person's like, we know better than to anger the left-wing crowd, so we make sure that a lot of our clients cater their messages, change their messages to hit those left-wing talking points.
But that's bullshit, because, you know, then, you know, what about people? I mean, we're actually in the middle, and I think most people are in the middle. I think the majority of people are somewhere in the middle from right to left. That's a load of shit. You're basically catering to a small, tiny percentage, and you're just basically like middle finger to the rest of the world.
Pretty much.
And do you know that a lot of people aren't even Americans, right?
No.
Someone gonna tell them?
No. It's ignorance is bliss, right? So we're going to talk about that, talk about maybe Kathleen Kennedy a little bit, and whatever else has to do with the Cara Dune debacle, which is turning into, I think, a bigger deal, a bigger black eye for Lucasfilm than The Last Jedi.
I agree.
Because this is steamrolling. It's picked up.
Rian Johnson's peeking his head in on the side, like, don't forget about it.
Yeah, he can't stand that he's not involved in the controversy this time.
You thought it was controversy, not with more Rian Johnson.
Oh, God. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 176,000. I think we might be 177,000 by the time this goes up. Thank you for the support. Hoping for 200,000 soon. It's appreciated. Yeah, you put this article up, and I talked about it a couple days ago that Hasbro said they were no longer shipping Cara Dune action figures, and the collector market exploded.
Yeah, I think it was a Big Bag Toy Store or something.
Big Bag Toy Store.
That were telling their people that, hey, the pre-orders aren't going to be fulfilled. Yeah,
so now Hasbro has put an official statement out. This is Julie Duffy, Hasbro's SVP of Global Communications. She said, we're thrilled to have the privilege of creating products featuring characters and stories from The Mandalorian for our fans. Hasbro has completed development of all Season 1 and 2 product featuring Cara Dune, and there are no current plans to create more. We're actively working with our retail partners to address existing issues. Big Bad Toy Store said that they were not fulfilling issues on the 6-inch Black Series figure that Hasbro had pulled the plug. We don't know what's happening to the Kenner style retro figure. The reason
I'm thinking it might be the Kenner styles because they were supposed to do another wave of the Black label figures, and they aren't apparently. But I'm thinking the Kenner style ones might still be coming.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting though. I can say I've never heard of anyone being canceled this quickly. I mean, the fact that like she went from, you know, being fired via social media basically to within a day or two of that happening, word getting out that Hasbro wasn't going to fulfill orders on some of the action figures, to now Hasbro issuing a statement that they're basically scraping Cara Dune off the bottom of their shoe.
And they're not recasting her.
No.
So, you know, it's almost like it was a concerted effort.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody at Lucasfilm just picked up the phone, made a bunch of phone calls, said, hey, Hasbro, this Cara Dune figures, yeah, you're not shipping them. We're done with her. We're done. You know, we're taking her off the posters. We're completely
that's their stupidity, because it's going to bite them in the ass, and they're going to deserve everything they get. It already is kind of biting them in the ass.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling for boycotts of Hasbro at this point too. They're like, why is Hasbro bending the knee? But I'm like, they can only do what Lucasfilm lets them do.
I'm not going to say, you know, I mean, if you're going to, you know, boycott Hasbro, boycott over the shitty My Little Pony that's coming out. But when it comes, that is them. But when it comes to this, they're just following the orders of the client. So there's not much they can do. So this isn't really Hasbro's fault on this one. Like I said, I really don't see blaming Hasbro for this.
No, because what happens is, you know, when a celebrity is working for a company, they probably grant them the right to use their likeness.
That's exactly what I think.
And if Gina Carano is no longer with Lucasfilm, they probably don't have the rights to produce figures, or there might be a contract, you know, or a clause in your contract. If we basically terminate your employment, then we don't have the right. We're not creating any more merchandise or something.
Right. Well, that's what we have, because they did have no problem putting the merchandise up on Shop Disney and still selling that. The Funko Pops and stuff are gone. There are some figure things up there, not these kind of figures, but some other stuff up on Shop Disney, and they're still selling those. But yeah, it probably is because they got rid of her and they can't use her likeness now. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't let them use my likeness either.
No, I wouldn't want to be associated with them. Like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Now, this article really kind of whacked the beehive yesterday. This is the Hollywood Reporter. Again, this is blowing up into a much bigger issue than The Last Jedi.
Yeah, you're starting to see that this is really unfair, prejudiced, biased in a way.
A little bit, but they're talking about this PR person. This PR rep, Judah Engelmeyer. She says, I don't know what people at Disney personally believe or don't believe with regard to politics, but as a corporate entity, they want to stay as trouble-free as possible.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. And anything that's going to offend the left is a problem. I have clients who are making an extraordinary effort to post what the social left wants to see.
Okay, wait. They do understand a couple things. They do understand that there's people in the world that aren't left, right? And that's like half the audience. If you want to stay as trouble-free as possible, how about not pick sides politically in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, what this also tells me, though, is that we have a lot of celebrities out there we already knew.
We did know this already.
To avoid being canceled, they're pandering to the left.
Yeah.
They don't want to be canceled, so they say and post the right things. So they're on the right side of history, so they don't get canceled, which is actually really gutless. In the very next paragraph, they talk about Letitia Wright,
which we've mentioned a couple times,
who came out as a Christian, and she came out and said she was a little apprehensive about the COVID vaccine.
And a lot of people brought up the fact that, you know, her being a woman of color, that she has probably good reason to be apprehensive given the history of vaccines.
Yes, yeah, because unfortunately, on our nation's history, black folks a lot of times were used as guinea pigs for,
which is absolute
medical rollouts. And so she's like, you know what? I'm not really sure.
Understandable. Why? So when you're telling her that, you're being racist.
Now, in her case, I think she believes that like the mark of the beast or something is in that.
Okay, that might be. My point is, you know.
Right. People have legitimate reasons. She's a lot. I mean, look.
We have to listen to women. We have to listen to minorities. We have to listen to everything they say unless they don't say what we want to hear. And then they're just terrible people who, you know, then it's okay to be racist, sexist, misogynistic, whatever.
Yeah.
When they don't say what you want to hear. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they're saying, now this is a different story than what, you know, we're hearing rumored on the back end. In fact, I think Pro
I'm sure it is a very different story than what we're hearing rumored on the back end. Because you've got to spin that narrative. And the Hollywood Reporter, I want to remind you, is one of the ones that Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland were using to leak her new show ahead of the actual announcement when Disney did not know about it, had a fit about it, because they used the Hollywood Reporter to do it. So we know for a fact the Hollywood Reporter kisses Lucasfilm's ass. So I wouldn't believe anything you get out of the Hollywood Reporter in regards to this kind of shit without a narrative. There's always gonna be a narrative.
Yeah, they said the decision to ban Carano from the Disney Kingdom went higher than Jon Favreau and was made by Lucasfilm executives.
Oh, that I believe.
We have heard, well, this is coming from Pro, WDW Pro, who put Disney's awful, no good, very bad Gina Carano situation. But he basically said that they didn't end run around Jon Favreau, that Kathleen Kennedy was the one who pulled the trigger on her firing. And it would have to be somebody with Kennedy's, pull to be able to call up Hasbro and say, hey, stop making Gina Carano action figures.
Well, it could have been that they had the run completed and that they weren't doing anything until next. I mean, because they're probably done with Mandalorian. They're probably moving on to Boba Fett. And you probably won't see anything new until then anyway. So they might have already been done with the run and they just weren't going to, we stopped what we were doing and whatever they have is what we have.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too, and people have brought up that actors are contracted usually season to season,
Yes.
especially on a streaming network when you don't know how long the show's actually going to last. So it could be she is season to season. They just will not have her in a third season of The Mandalorian. But I think the damage has absolutely been done. We have the UFC president Dana White. Said it was a douche move. It was a stupid thing to do. He said he did not agree with what she said. Maybe she should have watched what she said, but firing her in the way that they did was a dick move, and Disney shouldn't have done it.
Like, I don't agree with everything celebrities say. There's a lot of things celebrities say I don't agree with. I don't agree with everything Gina Carano says. But I think she seems like she genuinely is nice, and she just, she just wants to be able to say what she wants to say because she doesn't probably think it's fair that people can say what they want to say, and she can't say what she wants to say. She's allowed to say what she wants to say just as much as they are. You don't have to agree with it. But it was douchey what they did.
Yeah, he was just like, hey, leave her alone. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And so I mean, this is flared up. I do have to wonder. Did Disney know? Because it happened the day before the investigation.
No, this whole thing was a plan. Well, I don't know. I think somebody jumped the gun, but I think they were planning on it anyway. I don't think they would have done it the day before the investor call. I think that the gun was jumped on that. But
not that James Gunn, because he's got his job.
No, he's allowed to come back.
He's allowed to come back, yeah.
It's just very unfortunate because it's like I said, you can separate the celebrity from their opinions. And everybody's like, oh, well, she should have stopped tweeting. She should have stopped using social media. And I'm like, but by that regard, so should several other celebrities that are tied to Lucasfilms. And yet they still get to, because they have the opinion that the small vocal minority on social media, aka Twitter, want to hear.
Yeah. So we're already seeing some bit of a snowball effect here that Kathleen Kennedy, this video went up. You said it was Kathleen Kennedy appearing in a YouTube video celebrating women's achievements in the film industry, and it had like a ridiculous number of downvotes. Let's check this out. And this was yesterday? This morning?
I have no idea. I didn't even see it. I just know that.
Yeah, yesterday. This went up yesterday.
Oh shoot!
Yesterday, the Oscars put this up. Okay, the Oscars put this up yesterday, and Kathleen Kennedy, 87 upvotes to 8.4 thousand downvotes. Kathleen Kennedy is being downvoted to oblivion because ultimately, at the end of the day, it was her call probably to fire Gina Carano. So now they've got not only the stink of The Last Jedi on them, but what goodwill they had, going for them with Disney Star Wars and The Mandalorian has now also been destroyed.
And this also all plays into the whole idea if there are two factions. Of course, they want to get rid of Gina Carano to throw a wrench into The Mandalorian season 3 and any spinoff shows that would be, that Favreau and company would get, because then they're trying to wrestle power back. And I'm just tired of the immature. I won't even insult high school by saying this reminds me of high school, because even high school kids behave better than this and have more class than what I'm seeing out of the behavior at Lucasfilm and Disney. And it's like, Disney, just fucking, sorry, Mom, put some guidelines in place and fix it. It's not that hard. You have all the money for the $8 million possible bonuses for executives. You can spend some money putting these people in line.
Yeah, you could. I mean, there need to be ground rules laid, and every division of Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, Pixar, they all need to have a clear set of rules, and
for everyone,
and everybody has to abide by the same rules.
Exactly. I'm not saying one person should have to abide by rules over other people, like Twitter says. Yeah. I'm saying the rules should be applied evenly to everyone and enforced the same to everyone. That's the problem. When you see drama and bullshit, it's almost always coming from one side. Mm-hmm. And it's like, meanwhile, you're not hearing anything from Favreau and Filoni because they're out there trying to make good shows.
Yeah.
They're not wasting their time, with this bullshit.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is a bad look, Disney. You want to talk about PR nightmare? Kathleen Kennedy has become a PR nightmare and a liability to your company.
Wow, I didn't even know about that.
8.4 thousand. Yeah, Pro put this up earlier. 8.4 thousand downvotes to 87.
But here's the kicker: it's about her, and they only got 33. Okay, they only got 33,000 views on this whole thing anyway, with 1.91 million subscribers.
Yeah, that's not very good. Nobody cares about the Oscars anymore. But
no one does, actually.
This is dire, guys. You've damaged Star Wars. I don't know if after this, between this and the High Republic and the Pablo Hidalgo situation and the Christina Ariel situation and now Gina Carano, I don't know if any amount of Baby Yoda shit is going to fix it. I think it's
And
done.
you had Baby Yoda. You brought in Luke. I mean, it was all win. It was all win.
Yeah. You
And
were
then-
winning.
That's the problem. They were winning.
You were winning. Well, it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy wasn't winning. It was Jon Favreau.
Meanwhile,
and Filoni.
yeah.
The fans were winning. The fans
higher-
were winning.
The fans were winning. The High Republic was not doing well, and that's Kathleen Kennedy's baby and Lucasfilm Story Group's baby. So, oh shit, because they if they people want Star Wars, if we ruin the Mandalorian, then that clearly means everybody's gonna come over and read our shit. No, it doesn't.
No, it means they're going to go to the videos like this that have nothing to do with it and downvote
And they're going to pull the Disney Plus subscriptions and all that, and they actually did in this case. So
yeah, they did.
I don't know what to tell you.
Good luck with that.
Make
Good
Disney
luck with that.
step in, get it under control, apply rules fairly and evenly to everyone. If one person has to have pronouns, they all have to have pronouns. If one person can't talk about politics and the Holocaust, then Pedro Pascal can't talk about the Holocaust either, and and all that. It's not that hard. Just put in rules in place, and and just call it a day.
Pay attention to what's going on. That's all you got to do is pay attention to what's actually going on, Disney. I know it's really, really hard right now because you're too busy counting your money or trying to come up with more money.
They're trying to come up with more money.
Yeah.
They're counting money, but now it's pennies and not dollars. But
Yeah, but you're gonna run out of money if you don't take care of your assets.
You finally get fan goodwill back. You finally. I just can't wrap my head around it. It's just like I don't understand it at all.
All right, well, good luck, Disney. Okay, so we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye.